Dear students, let us read the chapter The Swimmer Who Does Not Need the Legs. The text. Imagine swimming across a pool with your feet dragging you down. Now, imagine having the courage to swim across the English Channel in a similar fashion. Unbelievable, is not it? In spite of having legs made useless by polio, CN Janaki has become the first handicapped person to be part of a successful team crossing the channel. It was in 1987 that Janaki was struck by polio. As a child, she got the idea of trying to swim the English Channel. So she conveyed this to the English Channel Swimming Association for details, and they replied that two conditions have to be met before a swimmer is allowed to make an attempt. First one, the swimmer should be able to spend at least 10 hours continuously in water. Second one, the swimmer should be able to do marathon swimming. That is, he or she should be able to swim in the high seas for long hours at a stretch. Janaki began training very hard in Bangalore to fulfill these conditions. After almost 4 years of training, she said, I was able to spend 10 hours at a stretch in the swimming pool. An NIS coach, Mr. Gopal, gave me a certificate saying that he had seen me swim for 10 hours continuously. Then, with the help of the Timia National Academy of Adventure, she went to the coastal town of Malpe and began training in the Arabian Sea. She spent 3 weeks there with a coach called Dinesh Subarna. She learned to spend long hours in the sea by swimming a minimum of 20 kilometers a day. Janaki then returned to Bangalore and sent her certificates to the Channel Swimming Association in England. When they gave her the permission to make the attempt, she had to start collecting funds for the trip. The government, a few private agencies, and several friends contributed the money she needed for the attempt. Janaki and her parents left for England in the middle of 1992. When she reached Dover and began practicing in the English Channel, the Channel Swimming Association officials were quite shocked. This was the first time in their experience that a physically handicapped person was trying to swim the English Channel. They were very worried, said Janaki, and they kept a sharp eye on me during my training runs. I trained for about 3 weeks under the famous channel coach Stella Streeter, but when I told them that I wanted to make a solo attempt, they said they did not have a special boat to accompany me. This was in case I needed to be lifted out of the water. So it was decided that I would be part of a relay team. The channel swim can be done in two ways. One is the solo and the other the relay swim. 6 swimmers form a team and they each do a minimum of 2 hours of swimming. Now, the other swimmers in the team, mostly Americans, were amazed to see that Janaki could swim, and to honor her, they named the relay team Janaki's Maritime Express. Needless to say, every member of the team other than Janaki was physically normal. The unique attempt was made on 28 July 1992. My fight, said Janaki, in the course of swim was against nature. The channel waters are so cold that I needed much more energy than usual to keep my arms moving. Then I had the problem of my legs moving to the left or to the right, whichever way the waves were moving. So I really needed a lot of energy. The water was very salty, and when it entered my mouth, I felt sick. And then there were the seaweeds and jellyfish. These fish kept sticking to my body and I felt very uncomfortable. However, despite these problems, Janaki successfully did her share of the relay. She swam for about 2 hours and helped the relay team cross the 36-kilometer channel in 14 hours and 45 minutes. Janaki's parents, Mr. Nagappa and Mrs. Indramma, had anxiously stood on Dover Beach wondering how things would turn out. We could not eat a single morsel, said Nagappa. How could we, when our daughter was doing something so dangerous? For us old people, it was really very agonizing. But their daughter did triumph and become the first handicapped swimmer to part swim the English Channel. After her success, Janaki said, although I wanted to swim solo, I am nevertheless happy that I was part of the relay team that helped me fulfill my dream of swimming the English Channel. I would now like to start training for the 1996 Paraplegic Olympics in Atlanta. Janaki, who is a bank officer in Bangalore, has a simple philosophy. I have always wanted to do something worthwhile in life. I strongly believe that the word impossible is applied to something that has not been tried. I wanted to prove that to be handicapped is no bar to success. One can overcome all obstacles by hard work, determination, courage, and self-reliance. Self-reliance is very important. God helps those who help themselves. Lastly, there is one more thing I would like to say. There is really no shortcut to success. Word meaning of the swimmer who does not need her legs. Imagine, think, kalpana kariba, dragging, push hard, taniba, then courage, fearlessness, sahasikata, English Channel, the narrow sea passage that separates England and France. English pronadi. Unbelievable, incredible, विश्वासहीन, handicapped, having physical disability, शारीरिक अक्षमता, तापर सक्सेसफुल, victorious, जितुथिबा, struck, affected, आक्रांत, conveyed, expressed, जणाइबा, conditions, commitment, शर्तावली, attempt, trial, प्रयास, continuously, unstoppably, निरविच्छिन्न भाବରେ, marathon, a long distance, लंबा दूरता, at a street, without stopping, लगातार, certificate, credential, प्रमाणपत्र, coastal, near the seashore, समुद्रकूल, minimum, the least, अति कम, permission, consent, अनुमति, collecting, gather, संग्रह करिबा, contributed, helped, साहाଯ୍य कले, experience, acquaintance, अभिज्ञता, sharp eye, means good notice, तीक्ष्ण दृष्टि, solo, alone, एकुटिया, accompany, going together, साथी होई जिबा, special, specific, स्वतंत्र, amazed, surprised, आश्चर्य हेबा, honor, privileged, सम्मानित करिबा, needless, no need, अदरकारी, unique, special, स्वतंत्र, against, opposed to, विपक्षरे, seaweed, सामुद्रिक उद्भिद, jellyfish, सामुद्रिक माछ, sticking, attached, न छाड़िबा, uncomfortable, not comfortable, अस्वाभाविक, despite, in spite of, सत्वे, anxiously, eagerly, उत्कंठार सह, wondering, surprising, विस्मित हुई, dangerous, not safe, भयंकर, then agonizing, worried, যন্ত্রণাদায়ক, triumph, victory, विजय, nevertheless, still, तथापि, philosophy, ideology, चिंताधारा, worthwhile, valuable, फलप्रद, overcome, solve, समाधान करिबा, determination, strong, will, संकल्प, self-reliance, dependence on oneself, आत्मनिर्भरशीलता. And now you can read this chapter on your own. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.